we're delighted to have you here for the information session on the Faculty of Social Sciences here at the UWI Cave Hill campus. And we know it's a busy time of year. It depends on where you are. And we know that the faculty, the UWI, attracts prospects from all over the world, mainly in the Caribbean, but we also would be delighted if you let us know where you're from in the chat so that we can say hello and welcome, no matter where in the world you're joining us from. Hi Casey, thank you so much for being the first up in the chat. So we're seeing Kate applied to the faculty. So some of this information, hi Naisha from St. Lucia and so on, may have already applied to the faculty. For those, I'm hoping to excite you so that if you are on the fence about whether you should or should not apply, that yes, by the end of this session, you will be really excited to apply. From a Samuel from Ghana, great to joining us as well. The Faculty of Social Sciences on any of our campuses is usually the largest faculty, and that's typically so in any university setting. Here at Cave Hill, that's no different. We are the largest of the 7 faculties here at the Cave Hill campus. We have about half of the student body at any moment in time. So right about now, we have about 6,000 students here at the Cave Hill campus. So 3,000 of them will be joining, about 3,000 of them will be enrolled in the Faculty of Social Sciences. I am not sure that you heard who I was. I'm Soni Mohan, and I'm one of the 3 deputy deans here at in the Faculty of Social Sciences, and I have been with the faculty for quite some time. Joining me on the call today, we're going to be part of the support and part of the Q&A as well as we get into the Q&A a little later on. We do have members of our team, our recruitment team from CIRU, Mrs. Bell and Mrs. Althea Green Ford. We also have the head of our marketing and communications unit here on campus here with us, and thanking them. And I think I saw also our some admissions personnel here with us. So a team well equipped to answer any questions that you may have as well. So who are we? What are we about here in the faculty? I prepared a very brief presentation, and I just wanted to tell a story about us here in the faculty. Many of you would have already, I am assuming, to do, because so much of the information that you're looking for has already been created, is already been edited, and it's already been published in a way that is amenable to you on our website. So what I'm going to be excited to share with you is some of the things that you may not know about us here in the faculty. We are in celebration mode this year. The faculty was founded in 1975, and we are therefore celebrating our golden anniversary here in the faculty. And we've had a lot of activities. I'm just going to give you a snippet. I wasn't able to pull in all the photos, but to just give you a snippet of the energy that is SOSI. As I said, we are about half the student we are about half the student body at any moment in time, and therefore about 3,000 students are directly enrolled in a program here in the faculty, and about half of the remaining students are doing something with the faculty, either fully enrolled in a major or minor with the faculty or taking courses offered by the faculty. If you're thinking of the faculty itself, we are comprised of 3 departments. So if you've already applied, you might recognize your department based on what you've already applied for, or if you have an area of interest, it will guide you as to where your home is going to be in the faculty. So 3 departments, and there's going to be a short quiz at the end. So, and this is, I know the audience might be made up of those interested in your first degree, the undergraduate degree, or you're close to completing your first degree and you're interested in what we offer at the postgraduate level, logistics and supply chain, as well as financial economics. That is the Department of Economics. So anything in economics, most things, not everything, but most things in economics and finance house in the Department of Economics. And I'm going to show you their website in a short while. The heart of the faculty. They call themselves the heart of the faculty, and that's our Department of Government Sociology, Social Work, and Psychology. So again, if you're interested in or you have applied for any one of those disciplines, sociology, psychology, political science, international relations, that's under the heading of government, social work, that's where you're going to be housed. And that's the Department of Government Sociology and Psychology. And one of the great things about the faculty is that it gives you the opportunity to take interdisciplinary studies. What does that mean? It means that this is one of the faculties that you can mix your programs. So if you have an area of interest if you have an interest in one particular area, but you want to mix that with another one, it's very easy to do that here in our faculty. So for example, those interested in international relations, and I am deliberately calling out international relations, you'll see why in a few minutes. Those students, international relations, political science, you can mix and match your major, which would be either political science or international relations, with practically anything else here on the campus, either within the faculty or in one of the other sister faculties here on the campus. And our largest, hi.
Hi, this is Rose, just asking the query. I am still seeing your home screen. Are you changing slides or?
No, I'm still on the home screen.
Okay, just making sure. All right.
Thanks, Rose. And our largest department is the Sagicor Cahill School of Business and Management. And as you can imagine, that houses all of the disciplines for management and the subdisciplines in management, including human resource management, marketing, project management, anything to do with management, that's the department that you're going to be in. Those areas, more than likely, the program is going to be offered by the Sagicor Cahill School of Business and Management. I'm going to sign in on a different device as well, because for some reason, Flow is showing me a bit unstable from my location, and I don't want to lose the call. So as part of our 50th anniversary, and I'm really excited about this part, we launched in January. We have a slew of activities. I'm just going to give you a slight window to talk about engagement, not only by the faculty that you're going to be involved with and the alums that come through and offer their support during the academic year as well, but also the students and some of what they are exposed to. So I'm going to talk about the programming in a short while, because I know that's why you're here. And again, don't hesitate to put your questions in the chat as well. As I go along and it triggers something, just put your question in the chat so that we can address them as we go along. So the launch was in January, and we launched with a press conference over by the Sagicor Cahill School of Business and Management. And for those of you who know the campus, that's not on the main campus, but on the right side. If you're coming down Cave Hill, that building is at the back on the right side, and our technologically advanced laid out rooms are over in that building. And this is I just wanted to give you a picture of who you are going to be seeing and interacting with. So on the left side at the podium, at the lectern, is our Dean, Professor Troy Lord, and he was giving the welcome here, as well as heads of department, the deputy deans, members of staff, students. Of course, you're seeing the media at the back. And so this was the launch of our 50th anniversary celebrations, and that was followed by a church service. So we're just seeing some pictures. Again, the principal, Professor Clive Landis, spoke at our launch. And on the right is just a snippet, a small picture of those who were involved, again, in the church service. And again, we are committed to ensuring that we maintain relationships not only with you, the students who come into our fold, but once you're part of the family, you remain part of the family. As the year progressed, Actually, in January. And I am doing this out of turn, but I really wanted to get you to feel the excitement in the faculty. We work with our partners. Suru is here, our student enrollment and retention unit, and there are opportunities for students. This was one that just came off in January, where myself and one of the other deputy deans accompanied a set of 4 students to Finland, University of Laurea, where they fully funded. We spent a week in Finland and they completed a course for credit in the week that they were there. It was we were piloting a different delivery system. So this was a hybrid program under our Connect. Okay, are you seeing my screen? I'm going to leave my video off just in case.
Yes, we're seeing it.
Please.
Okay, and you're hearing me loud and clear?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that's
Fantastic.
better.
Okay, great. So as I said, this is a typical activity for us here at K-Phil, but we were really delighted to have this one done in January of this year, fully funded for students for a week in Finland. And we were working with University of Laurea and students from the University of Johannesburg as well. They were doing an actual course. The week before, they did everything online. So they did a lot of the theory work and some of the assessment online before we flew out to Finland on January 18th. And then we were in Finland and they did the experiential part of the course where they interacted with the companies and they worked in groups and did fantastic presentations using some of the AI tools and social media tools in order to communicate their solutions. They were actually building service solutions for the company. So it was a thrilling experience and we are hoping to get their stories published shortly so that you could see and be encouraged that while you are going to be with us here at Cave Hill, it doesn't mean that you can't experience other opportunities to see life in a different part of the world or even an exchange here at one of our sister campuses in the region, whether that be at Mona or St. Augustine for a semester. So we want you to be rooted and grounded. This is not open to you as a first-year student. So you have to be at least a level 2 student. And because we make sure that you are solid with your studies, you have to have, Rose, is it a B average at minimum? A 3.0 average that we're looking for, a GPA?
Yes, please.
Yes, before you can go off on exchange. But those opportunities are here. I did not show the picture with me falling while skiing, but it was a great grand time had by all. We continued the year celebration. This one some of you may have participated in either virtually or otherwise. We had our major recruitment activity for the faculty just about a month ago. And the car park, again, those of you who are familiar with the campus, we had the entire car park where the Society building is just in front of the admin building. And we had energy for the entire day. That was March 12th. And this is just a sample. I didn't want to overload the screen, but this is just a sample of what was happening. So you see on the left, some of my colleagues here from the Department of Government Sociology, Social Work, and Psychology, some of the students talking about interacting with some of the societies here on campus. We have a vibrant and rich student life. So while I'm going to talk to you about the academic side of it, I also want to show you the other side of the campus where we expect you to be involved and engaged with the community as well. Not only the community that is your individual classes or your classmates or your cohort, but what's happening on the campus as well. And some of the students volunteered to help us during that day. So they were interacting with prospects coming through and the general public coming through. And it was a hot day, but a great time was had by all on March 12th as well. And some of the other sides of the student life, I deliberately pulled this off our Insta. So those of you who want to follow and see what's going on, SOSI, our handle is FSS_Cave Hill, and you can see what's going on. We have a great relationship with our student reps. So that's on the left. The students had every faculty has a week of activities, and this is just a snippet again of one of the activities that they did during SOSI week this year. They had a campus walk around and they gave candy out to persons as they were answering questions about the faculty and getting to know more about the faculty. Sometimes students just come to campus and leave and don't get engaged. So this was an opportunity for students to stop and talk to each other and engage with each other and so on. I hope you're still hearing me well. And on the right side, the faculty had a thank you for being with us. Just we value youth activity, and this was advertised over Insta as well as through email. And many students popped in. They got a little, again, candy. Please don't let my colleagues in the Faculty of Law who are really involved with ensuring that we eat healthily, but you don't do this every day. So on February 13th this year, again, under the umbrella for us here celebrating our 50th anniversary, all the students had to do was come into one of the departments or the faculty office and, give us a shout out. That's all they had to do. Meet us in person, say hello, and they got little snippets saying, we value you. So this invitation went out. You'll see the 50th anniversary logo on the invitation as well. And quite a number of students. We had about 200 students who did come through the faculty that day. And we took, with their permission, of course, we took some photos with them. So again, I just hope that this is giving you another side of the faculty, another side of the campus, a really involved set of activities and engagements outside of the classroom. So before I go to my next slide, Rose, are there any questions in the chat? Nothing as yet. And again, right. So Casey, I am going to,
It's long. Take your time.
I see your question and I have not quite an answer for you, but I have an opportunity for you. Since I'm seeing the question here, let me start first with offerings. Your question was first up. So let me start first with offerings in the faculty. And this year was the first year we launched offerings that are not necessarily sponsored at the undergraduate level, that are not sponsored by the government in Barbados. For many Barbadian students, if you're enrolled in the Faculty of Social Sciences, most of the options available for you come with sponsorship if you're a Barbadian student, and for some of the other islands in the Caribbean as well, come with sponsorship from your government. This academic year, this academic year, I am trying to get the dates right in my head. We launched a suite of programs in the Sadako Cafield School of Business and Management at the undergraduate level, or Bachelor in Business Administration. We have 3 programs there outside of the fields that I spoke about earlier, and that's the BBA General Management, the BBA Aviation Management, and the BBA Aviation Management with a pilot's license. That's what Casey is asking about.
Yes.
So note that we have a webinar coming up on
For that one?
coming up on May 8th for anybody who's interested in our BBAs with or without a pilot license, that you will be able to ask all the questions and get fuller answers that I am going to be able to give you this evening. That is coming up on May 8th. I do have the link for registration. So once we are finished, I will drop those in the chat for you, for those of you interested in the BBA Aviation Management with a pilot license. Now, I know one question that's going to come up because it came up this year as well. If I'm already enrolled in a program at the UE, whether in the faculty, whether in the department or in the faculty or on the campus, can I transfer to this program? Yes, but only in your first year. So that if you're already enrolled, if you have colleagues or friends who really wanted to do this and now this is available, and why did nobody tell them that this was happening before, you still have the opportunity to transfer to this program, but only in your first year. Again, all the questions like that will be answered in this webinar that is coming off on May 8th. And if you're interested, like I said, I will drop the link for registration for that program. Casey?
I had a counter question to that. What if it was not UE, but all right, so I'm from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and we have only one aviation school here that actively allow us to fly. It's called Aeronautical School of the West Indies. So I've already completed my ground school and private pilot license. So the next step for me is just to fly, to complete that private pilot. So what I was asking is basically if it would help in any form of.
Going to, when I save the chat, I'm going to save the question and I'm going to pass it on to the coordinators for that. But
Okay.
questions like that, this is why I sort of knew that somebody in this audience would want to find out more about this program. And that's why I made sure that I got this. And May 8th, so mark your calendar, May 8th, 7 to 8. I will pass your question on. So don't be surprised if you do get a call or an outreach by one of the staff from the SCHSBM or the coordinator with this specific answer, but see if you can join them that day as well.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
And it's not only going to be the staff from the school, but also our partners from CAE, the partners that we are involved in this project with, who are responsible for ensuring that we mind our P's and Q's, dot our I's and cross our T's. We're the ground school and the ultimate flight school, which is going to be in Phoenix. I think it's in Phoenix at the end, not at the end of the program, but in the 3rd year of the program.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome. Teron?
Good
I
night.
saw you. Good night.
Yeah, please. I noticed that you said that you can only transfer in the first year. If you're doing a program like management, can you just switch to like a specialization after the first year?
Nope.
Okay.
This is a completely separate suite of programs that are
Mhm.
not funded or not sponsored by governments. So this is a self-funded program, and therefore the only for self-funded program, full stop. The only opportunity that you get if you don't get direct entry into the program is being able to transfer in the first year. If you're already into level 2 and definitely not into level 3, you will let you finish the program that you're currently in, and there's offerings at the graduate level that we are just waiting approval for. So I can't say much more on those, but there will be opportunities for students who already have an undergraduate degree for them to still be able to take advantage of this tremendous opportunity to be a pilot. So all is not lost, but the transfer possible window is if you didn't gain direct entry, in your first year with us here, you can't be going into level 2. But again, all those questions about the BBA Aviation Management Program are going to be answered in this webinar on May 8th. Because I didn't want to take up the time just with this program, but all of your questions are going to be answered there. And again, I'll put the link for the registration in the chat as well. So for the Department of Economics and the department, if I just pause my share here for just a moment. Again, feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Just to get an idea, is there anyone, just by a show of hands, and there are 140 of you, so thank you for joining us this evening. Are there any of you, and I'm going to talk about the undergrads first, and then I'm going to go to the postgrad offerings that we do have. Are there any of you here who has not yet submitted an application? If you can raise your hand. So I am suspecting most of you have submitted an application as well already.
Excuse me, when you say application, do you mean the part where you have to actually put in your documents or the part where you go to actually apply to get the link?
So you go through the link and you actually filled out an application. And I am seeing no hands up. So that means most of the audience have already applied. Susan, you have not. Susan, you're the I only have one hand up. Okay, so I'm seeing a couple of hands up now. So in terms of entry requirements to the faculty. So entry requirements to the faculty, and I'm going to stop my share here for a moment so that I make sure and turn back on my video.
So the languages are inherit, huh? No, she did not say.
Let's mute.
You want to over the spell? Mommy, how?
So I just muted. So Kiosha, I think you were saying that you had not yet put in your application.
No, ma'am, I wanted to ask a question.
Oh, go right ahead. And then I will talk about the entry requirements.
This is regarding the thing we were just talking about. You stated that after your first year you cannot ask for a transfer. I am an
To the
undergraduate.
no, just to the BBA program with a pilot license.
Oh, because I would have been enrolled in the 3 minors for social science, and I would have sent a transfer to do HR management. However, I was denied of it. I believe it's because I haven't done prelim math as yet. Would that be the cause of stopping me from getting the transfer? Hello?
I'm going to talk
Yes,
about that in a
ma'am.
moment. Hold a moment for that question. I will ask for that. Okay. I will answer you with that. Now, just to make clear so that you don't leave with a false or misinformation. When I said that transfers are not available after the first year, I'm only speaking about those who are interested in coming into the BBA with or without a pilot's, particularly with a pilot's license. That is the only, the BBAs are the only suite that I'm speaking about. Students can apply for transfer up to level 2. We do have discussions with you if you attempt to apply at level 3 because there may be consideration for your graduation time. So you're given a time to
Pardon?
finish your program. So you want to make sure that you are not going to
I can't hear
be
you. Your mic is on.
extending your time. Are you having difficulty hearing me again?
No.
Okay. So
No,
I'm just
ma'am.
making, okay, great. So I'm just making sure that everybody else is muted. Right, and to extend your graduation time. So when I spoke about being only able to apply for a transfer, in level 1, I'm only speaking about those who are interested in going into our BBA programs. Those are the only programs that have that restriction. So just to be clear, the community college, either the local community college here in Barbados or one of the community colleges with which we have an articulation around the region, or you have done CAPE, 2 units of CAPE. It doesn't matter which 2 units you have done. And therefore, once you have met that profile, you will be fully matriculated. What does that mean?
Miss
It means,
Mahan,
hi?
sorry, I missed everything because you were breaking up badly. Can you repeat?
Sure. How do you get into the faculty? You get into the faculty with 5 O levels or 5 CSACs and either an associate degree or CAPE studies. That gives you full matriculation into the faculty. You have to have two units of CAPE. So you're doing a program that has 2 units, units 1 and 2. You need any 2 of those. We don't restrict what you can do. At the undergraduate, at the O levels, you need to have 5, including the basic requirements to get into the campus, and that is English, and for most of our programs, math as well, or some background in math. You have to have a foreign language, science in order to get into the faculty, so any 5. Now, for students who do not meet the full requirements, you may have other matriculation requirements in order to get into the level 1 courses that you need to get into. So let me talk a bit about how our courses are organized, our programs are organized. At the undergraduate level, we have 3 levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 3 is your graduating year. So level 1 leads you to level 2 and 3. Level 1 is your foundation year. And this is where most of you in the faculty will be doing the same or similar courses, no matter what program you're in. And it's why you have the opportunity at level 1, even though you're not restricted only at level 1. It's why we encourage students who are here, who have gone through level 1, and there are times that you come in having a great passion for one particular area until you get into a class with somebody who is teaching in an area that you never encountered before, and now you are very interested in pursuing your studies in that second option. So we understand that, and we give you the opportunity to apply for a change of option. You would have heard Kiosha talk about applying for a change of option. So even though you come in having accepted a program of study, you have opportunities to change to another program of study. Level 1 is very similar no matter what option you're doing here in the Faculty of Social Sciences. Now, there's some things that you are going to have to note. One, please read the emails that are coming out to you from student admissions and from CIRU and our Office of Student Services and Development. They're not sending you information to annoy you. They're sending you information so that you are informed. For those of you who've already applied, and I don't know if one of the CIRU team can answer this question, for those of you who have already applied, your first point of decision or determining what you need to do is the English language proficiency test. In order to register, no matter who you are on campus, it's not restricted to the Faculty of Social Sciences. If you do not have a grade 1 at CSEC English language, you either have to take the English language proficiency test, or you have to take a course, written English fundamentals course on entry to the campus before you can get into the course we need you to do at level 1. So let me say that again. Thanks, Althea. If you do not have CSEC grade 1, if you are writing CSEC English now, therefore you won't get your results till later. But if you do not have grade 1 at CSEC, you need to take the English language proficiency test before you come into campus. One of the team has just put a link in the chat. You would have got correspondence in your UE email as well as your personal email addresses about this. Sometimes students ignore this. Don't ignore this. What the English language proficiency test does is it tells us you are ready to take the level 1 academic literacies course. So you either get into it with a grade 1 or a grade 2 in CATE Communication Studies or a B+ in the corresponding course at community college, and you can go directly into the level 1 course. But if you don't have that profile, and if you don't remember anything I said, that's okay. Take a look at the link. It will give you all the information that you need. But as a point of action that I want you to take away from today, if you do not have a grade 1 in English language, there is a step that you need to take before you come into the campus so that you don't have to take the written English fundamentals course, which is a pre-university course and comes at an additional cost. So you would have to pay for that course separately from your tuition and your UE registration fees. Okay?
Hi,
So
good evening.
really important that you don't miss that information. Aisha?
Hi, good night. I do have a question. I have all of the necessary requirements for that. However, I was being told that because of my grades, I sat the exams in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still need to take over these proficiency tests? I've also have, after reviewing the exemptions list, I also should have been exempted from the math proficiency because I have BCC grades, but those would be from 2018. But I was being told that my grades might be past a certain amount of time and I might need to retake tests. I just wanted
So,
to find out. I sent an email with no response. If I
okay,
needed
so
to,
for
if it was exempted.
okay, so for the English language proficiency test, if you have a grade from CSEC, from CXC or equivalent, because some people test with GSG, GCE, and other bodies, there is no time limit on those. However, if you took the English language proficiency test, that has a 5-year time limit. So if you didn't take it within the last 5 years, you would need to retake it. If you don't have a grade 1 or one of the other requirements that will allow you, or one of the other requirements that would exempt you from the test. The reason I'm bringing this up here now is because when we counsel students, when you come in August, some students come in and say, well, they didn't know about the English language proficiency test. So I am letting you know, please look out in the email for, look in the messaging that is coming to you, look at the email, and they will give you more information about it. And the team is putting the links in the chat. The ELPT is urgent simply because that has to be done. If you're going to do the ELPT, it has to be done before you come into the campus in August. Once you are a registered student, you don't have access to the English language proficiency test anymore, and therefore you will have to take our written English fundamentals.
Hi, good night.
One moment before
sorry.
anybody asks another question, just give me a moment. I don't want you to confuse this with the math proficiency test. The math proficiency test is done once you are in campus. So you don't have to do the math proficiency test if you don't meet the exemption guidelines. And again, one of the team is going to put the link for the requirements for math proficiency in the chat for you. So you'll be able to read through that as well. But you need to have the requisite knowledge so that we ensure that you have the supports needed once we have identified that you need the supports before you attempt the courses at level 1, and then having that foundation, being able to go on to your specialist courses. Thanks, Althea. So the link for the math proficiency test is also now in the chat. Dawn?
Hi, good night. I attend the UWE campus there in the Plain. I did the fundamental of English and got back a B+, but I still have to do the English test.
No, you are good. You're good. Once you have done the written English fundamentals test, not the test, once you've done the course, I think it's found 0101. Sorry, 100, found 0100. I think that's the course code, if I remember correctly. You're good. You don't need to do the test.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Shaquille?
Hello, good night.
Hey, good night.
Good night.
I just want to clarify. So for the English EPLT test, right? ELPT. Am I exempted if I had gotten a grade 1 for CXC in 2018? Or is that over the 5 years?
No. Once you have a grade 1, there's no time limit.
Oh, okay then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Aisha, is your hand still up, or is that the next
Oh,
hand?
sorry. Sorry.
Good night.
Good night. 1 minute, Juliana. Okay. Juliana, go ahead, and then I'll come to Dante.
Okay. I attempted to do the English quiz on the 15th.
Oh, what, Juliana, has it already passed through Rose or Althea?
Yes, it has, but there will be another one in August.
The first one
there will be another one in August.
Okay.
But I was not able to finish it. I did the multiple choice. And when I went on to do the essay, but it was not allowing me to do it. There was some that popped up where it asked if you needed help. I asked for help. Someone typed in and told me to come out and go back in. When I came out and I went back in, it gave me back the multiple choice all over again, which I found very strange. I didn't think I'd be able to get back into the multiple choice. So I did the multiple choice all over again. and I still didn't get into the essay, and I called and I reported it as well. So I wasn't able to complete the English quiz, the English test.
Juliana, can I
Mhm.
ask you to send an email?
I did. I sent
to
an email to Whitley Harper.
Okay, Rose
I
or
I
Althea,
told
can I
her
ask
and
her
I
to send it to one of the CIRU team?
sorry?
Yes, she can. I will put the address.
Juliana, one of the
Mhm.
CIRU team is going to reach out to you to give you an email address
Okay.
to send to correspond with. And
Well,
let
Whitney,
you can-
she reported because she realized that I was having some kind of technical difficulty. So she reported it, and she also told me to send her an email that she could also forward on with the report. I haven't seen any information from that as yet. I've been checking to see if they had responded to say anything, but I haven't seen anything as yet.
So tonight you get in action our student enrollment and retention unit, an introduction to that team. That team is the middleman, so to speak, between our students and every other part of campus. So for all of you on the call, if you're having issues, CIRU is the place that you can go and they will intercede for you or with you. Don't let me say for you, with you in
Yeah,
order
I
to
just saw
find a
the
solution.
email popped up. I just saw the email popped up. Do you mind putting it out
Right.
again?
So it's going to be in the chat, ciru@kphil.ue.edu. I'm not sure if they're on the ue.edu domain yet, but Juliana, you will see an email in the chat, CIRU, SERU, that stands for Student Enrollment and Retention Unit. Great team here on campus, and they are sort of our customer service arm, and they intercede with you.
It was there. Could you pop it again? But I can just screenshot the screen because I just came from work, so I missed a lot of the Zoom. I got in.
Yeah,
about
that's
6
okay.
o'clock, so-
SERU, so it's going to be in the chat.
Oh,
You
okay.
see the chat? It's going to be there.
Okay, because I tried to screenshot it, but I'm not
Yep.
seeing.
So Rose, just put it back, seru@kphil.ue.edu.
Because I just came on quickly, so I'm like unsettled.
That's okay.
All right, let me find something quickly to write it down.
And
Okay, what is it again?
SERU
SERU.
@kphil.ue.edu.
Kphil.ue.
.edu.
Okay, edu. Okay, cool.
Great. Dante?
Hi, yes, please. Good night.
Good night.
For the English proficiency test, you said for those who are already enrolled at UE as students, they can't take the test?
They cannot take the test.
Okay, so then in that case, they would do what exactly? The English
course
course?
found 0100 written English fundamentals. Then you need to take that course.
Okay, and you would do that along with the foundation, or you would do that first and then move
It's
into
a
the
prerequisite, so you won't be able to get into the English course until you get a pass in that course.
Okay, and how long is that course?
A semester.
A semester? Okay.
It's also available in summer.
Okay, thank you.
Don't wait, Dante. Dante, I am donning my hat as advisor, not just welcomer at the moment. Do not wait until you are in level 2. I'm turning back on my video.
You're doing the wrong thing again.
Yeah, you started breaking up again.
Okay, let me turn off the video again. Can you hear me, Dante?
I can hear you now. Yes, please.
Yes, I'm having a conversation with you. Everybody else can eavesdrop. Do not wait until level 2 or level 3 before you take the written English fundamentals course. It is there to ensure that you can be successful in the level 1 course, which gives you the tools that you need for writing and comprehension and functionally understanding the material that you're going to be engaging with. So don't wait till the end. You have to do it. So do it as early as possible.
I was just okay. Alrighty.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because I was already admitted and I already put in my acceptance letter. So I was wondering, since I'm already a student, what would I have to-
No. Have you registered for any courses?
What do you mean?
Have you come, are you a level, how, are you already enrolled in courses? Have you already enrolled in courses here at the UE? Or you just applied?
I did the application process. I got the admittance letter back and I dropped it off at the
Great.
office.
So when I say that you're already a student, I mean that you have already enrolled in classes or registered
Okay,
for.
oh no, please.
So you are in good time. So there's I understand from the team that there is another offering of the tests in August. So make sure that if you're in that boat, that you don't miss the test in August.
Okay, so I can still do the test now in August.
Yes, if the second offering of the test, that will be before you register. So let me make sure that I am clear when I say that you are not yet a student, you have not yet registered for classes here at the UE. So if you've been accepted, congratulations, that is great. But the English language proficiency test is available to you until you register for official courses. And for you, that will be in our September offering. So you're eligible to take the English language proficiency test in its next offering, which I'm understanding is August. So don't miss it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a difference between 50 Barbados dollars and 500 Barbados dollars. Okay, Kiosha, you were asking before. So before I answer Kiosha, let me give a little background. I talked about the 3 departments we have here in the faculty. Department of Economics, Department of Government Sociology, Social Work, and Psychology, and the Sadako Cahill School of Business and Management. There is another offering by the faculty, an interdisciplinary offering called the BSc, it's a Bachelor's in Social Sciences, which allows you, it is one of the programs I absolutely adore here in the faculty because it's the only option that allows you to take 3 disciplines within the faculty, and you can also add culture as one of the minors in that program. So it is the broadest, most integrated offering that we have here in the social sciences. The program, level 1, because of its flexibility, level 1 can look like any other, let me say like any other, about 90% of the different options that we have in the social sciences. And so students can use the BSc Social Sciences to, as Kiosha has done, apply for a change of option into another program. It is not automatic. There are considerations, but you can, without too much of a deficit, apply for a change of option to another program offered by the faculty. I am the academic advisor for the BSc Social Sciences. And like I said, it is a program that I absolutely adore simply because of the opportunities that it affords our students. So Kiosha?
Yes, ma'am, you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Right. So after listening to you, I would have gotten back. I have a 1 in English, so I didn't have to do that. The only thing that I don't have is math.
Okay.
One thing, if it is that because I don't have math and I have to do the course for 500. I'm planning to do it in summer. I'm currently in my 2nd year. I want to know if that's the reason my transfer was denied.
But I can't tell you that it would make it be the only reason because I don't have your case in front of me, but you do have to have that demonstrated math competency to be admitted to what we call the full matric programs within the school. So it's likely that may have been a consideration.
Okay.
Without that math course, you cannot get into the math for social sciences 1, nor could you have been exposed to the stats course either. So it does give us you have a deficit when we are considering your ability to be successful in the program of your interest. So I support your decision to take the math proficiency, sorry, not the math proficiency, to take the
course.
Right, the prelim math, the prelim math course in summer.
Right. I see. Because I have a lot of challenges where people will be like I had conversations with other students. So they were telling me like the train minors really and truly is they said it's more for like people that going into other jobs to enhance their degree. But that's not what I wanted to do. That'd be true. I want
That's
to do
okay,
it.
Kiosha.
Yeah.
And since you're already in, you can also book an appointment with me and sit down and let's chat about your pathway to graduation and your
Sure. I can do
and
that.
so on. Okay?
All right.
Shakila?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi, good night. I would have asked a question in the chat, but I don't think it was clear as to what I was asking. So, it's in relation to the math proficiency test, and I wanted you to clarify the format or the style of the exam, if it is multiple choice or would it be written?
It is a series of different questions. Once you register for the test, you get access to some components to help you study for the test. If you take a look at the link that is in the chat, it gives you some more information about the test itself. It is administered on computer, so you actually come into the campus and write, quote unquote, write the test. You're going to be in one of the computer labs, and the format of the questions can be multiple choice, but it can be short answer or other, I don't want to say essay type, but longer answer questions as well. Format.
Okay. I have another question.
Sure.
So I would have paid, but I was not aware that the portal was closed. So I just want to know if the portal will reopen on the dates that the site has specified that you can register, if you understand what I'm asking.
This is for the math proficiency test?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we will investigate that because the test should be coming up shortly, or in April. So there should be another Shakila again.
Yeah, I was trying to register because I paid already, but I
Okay.
realized that the portal was closed.
Okay, what you can do is again send an email to Siru at kphil.ue.edu so that we can follow up on that for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Brianne? Yes, Brianne, it's you. Okay, Brianne, you are still muted.
You hearing me now?
I can hear you now.
Perfect. So I would have done a deferral last year for this year. So I already got accepted into the school. When are we expected to be at campus?
Are you on island or are you off island?
I'm in Grenada.
So Rose or Althea, it's normally by middle of August. We want the students here by the middle or the 20-somethings of August. Do we have that date as yet?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. The official dates for the academic year haven't been released. However, we can use the current academic year as a guide. Normally, registration takes place during the last week of August, and for our regional and international students, you're normally advised to be here at least the Thursday before that last week of August. Due to orientation, it's usually the hall moving date, but over the summer period, as the dates are confirmed, that information is sent out to all new students, but it is a guide as at the moment, as we do not have the approved dates as yet for the coming academic year.
But we will say somewhere if I go, because of how the calendar is laid out this year, Althea, about the 21st of August is what you should be looking at. Sunday is the 31st of August, and the first day in September is Monday, the 1st of September.
Yes, that is.
You know what I'm saying.
That is a good tentative date, the 21st, because we should anticipate, as we're saying, it's not confirmed that the week beginning Sunday, August 24th would be the start of our coming academic year.
And I'm saying. Right.
Okay.
So the 21st of August, even though it's not official yet, that'll be a good time to make sure that you're here by.
All right. I have another question also. I would have applied for the housing, for the house. I've not received a response as yet.
To my knowledge, the deadline for applying to the halls of residence for semester 1 has not passed as yet. However, I can say that the halls of residence will respond to all applicants. 2, they will be scheduling a webinar for all persons interested in residing on our halls. So that information will also be sent to you, but you could also visit our Cave Hill page and visit the Halls of Residence page and monitor it for that information. But the deadline, to my knowledge, hasn't passed as yet. So they haven't made all decisions as yet. So not to worry as yet.
Okay, and we have, thank you, Althea. Brianne?
One more question.
Okay,
Also,
go ahead.
for the student visa, I know normally when you're traveling, especially for a long period, they will give you a student visa number. When am I expected to get that?
Our process currently is all regional and international students are required to return the relevant documentation for the student visa. Note, the processing of the student visa is entirely in the hands of our Barbados Immigration Department. The visa is not normally ready by the time you arrive in the island, which is why we always advise our regional and international students to walk with their letter of offer and any other relevant documents. Our immigration department is made aware of all applications we have received for the student visa to ensure that your entry to the island is smooth. So once you have done as requested, everything else will be taken care of. When the visa is ready, it is usually sometime in the semester. The immigration department will contact us, we reach out to you, and you visit them to have that visa stamped in your passport. But to focus on you entering the island, just ensure to walk with your letter of offer and ensure you have returned the necessary documents as required for the visa.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Brianne? I think that was Brianne. Shaquille?
Yeah, all right. Question. I had applied for accounting and finance, right, in December, but it enrolled me in, well, it showed me that I was automatically applied in business management, well, management studies, and it says
Same.
it's my major.
Yes, as management major?
Yes, please.
Right. So a couple of questions for you. Are you a CAPE or you're qualifying CAPE or you have an associate degree?
Associate degree.
And what you can do, I can follow up on it for you, but generally we do look at the profile. The department, that is one of our restricted programs in the school. Accounting and finance is one of the most competitive programs in the Sadcor Cave Hill School of Business and Management. What we do, what might be of comfort is that level 1 is almost exactly the same for management major, but for one course as accounting and finance. So there is still opportunity to apply for a change of option. You just need to keep your grades up. So there are 10 courses at level 1. 9 courses are exactly the same between management studies
and the accounting
and finance.
Yeah, because
accounting and finance, but for one course.
Okay. The status for the accounting and finance is not offered department requirements.
Say again, Shaquille?
Not offered department requirement, the status. Because everything has been processed, but that is the application status same on the where you have to upload the documents, the various documents.
Okay, so the department probably would have made a decision there. But like I said, all hope is not lost because you will be, when I'm lecturing, I'm one of the lecturers as well. So when I'm lecturing, I don't ask students which program they're in. The course is required, and level 1, like I said, 9, either 8 or 9, I think it's 9 of the courses are exactly the same. So it's a matter of then continuing to be competitive, which means keeping your grades up before you apply for that change, while you apply for that change of option, if you're still interested in it after you come in with us. Because a number of students, even though you have a passion for one area, you may branch out, may change your mind. You may decide to keep the management major and add another major or minor with it.
All right.
Okay, Angelica, before I answer your question, I'm going to try one more time to see if I can, because some of you may need to hop off the call. I am going to see if I can finish your presentation. I just want to do 2 or 3 more slides, and then I will come back to answering your questions, and I will begin with you, Angelica. If for some reason my bandwidth is not allowing me to do this, we will do this at another time, probably at orientation for the faculty. You'll get to see me again. So let me share my screen for you. Again, the SADs, they offer the largest suite of options at the postgrad level. So I'm hoping you're able to see my screen. I'm not breaking up.
Yes, please.
Great. So you're seeing there are two webinars coming up. One for our MBAs, our whole suite of MBAs, and there are about 8 or 9 of them under the Sagicor K-Fields School of Business, and that one is coming up on May 6th, as well as the MSc Industrial and Employment Relations. This program is one of our latest programs, and we are phasing out those of you who may be interested in labor and employment relations. This one is going to be replacing that, not necessarily this year, but by next year, the only one on offer will be this newest one, our labor and employment relations. So if you're interested in either of those, note that you're going to see more advertisements coming out, or promotional links coming out, but that's coming up on May 6th and May 7th. Now, the one in the middle are for those who are, if you know somebody who's graduating, scholarship, tuition scholarship for our accelerated MBA. It means that you would graduate in 2024-25, and therefore you're coming straight from undergrad into graduate studies, and you can finish your MBA within a year to 12 to 16 months. So again, the information is going to go out to all students to our student body to let them be aware of the offer. But this is sort of hot off the press, so literally hot off the press, that I decided to come in and let you know about this. You need to apply for the deadline. The deadline for all campus applications is May 30th. So we want to make sure that you just knew about that if you were interested in our MBAs. Am I still breaking up? Or was that clear?
No, I missed part of it because you broke up for a little bit.
Okay, so if you're graduating and interested in pursuing your MBA, you can strike while the iron is hot. That is a value of about $8,000 for a quarter scholarship, 25% scholarship for tuition scholarship for those graduating that meet the requirements. Full-time accelerated MBA program. So that is for those who are interested in postgrad study. And I just want to give you, the imaging is really blurry, but the faculty also works with campus partners, not only those outside of the campus, but those internal to the campus, like CIRU. And this was a session held, I think, Rose and Althea in March. This year, we had about 36 students coming in, hosted by CIRU from the University of San Diego. And the head of our Department of Government Sociology, Social Work, and Psychology, she is a political scientist. For those of you on island, you may have heard her on Brass Tacks and seen some of her work and advocacy. She had a session with the students, and even though the photo is blurry, you get the idea that she was interacting with those students. She did a session with them, which they thoroughly enjoyed, I understood. Now, the next 2 were not long, and I'm hoping this is for grad students. The QR code is there for those who are interested. I'm gone again?
When you change this thing, you disappeared.
Okay.
You were out.
So let me give it a moment. So those who are interested in postgrad studies and interested in the scholarships, information is available on the School for Graduate Studies and Research, their website. If you just come onto the K-Fields website and type postgrad scholarships, it will take you to the link about funding opportunities for your postgraduate study. Everybody heard that one?
Yeah.
Rose or Althea? Yes? and I am almost loath to do what I'm trying to do next. And just about
Sorry, repeating that again. I came a bit. Give me that one more time.
mean the postgrad studies. If you go on to the School for Graduate Studies and Research, their website, there is a revised scholarship form and so on that's available for you. So you can see what scholarships and funding opportunities are available for those of you who are interested in postgrad study. This will be both for taught master. There are fewer opportunities for taught masters, but definitely if you're interested in a research degree, your MPhil or PhD, there may be scholarship opportunities there for you. If you're a Barbadian student, there may be, and I'm choosing my words carefully, there may be opportunities that align with the areas of priority that the government may have. The reason I am choosing my words carefully is because we are not usually involved in what those areas of priorities are. They do let us know eventually. And once we get the information, we post the information for you to take advantage of. So I can't tell you what the areas are this year, or if they differ from last year, but the School for Graduate Studies and Research would have the latest information that we do have about those scholarship opportunities.
Okay, and when are they posted? The ones that you talked about before?
They should be up. So the applications window portal is open now up to May 30th. So do go online to their website. If you can't see it clearly here, I'm going to make it bigger to help you. Just go onto the KPhil website, kphil.ue.edu, and type in postgrad scholarships or graduate studies. That will take you to there. Yes, the QR code does take you, let's see. No, it's not coming up at the moment, but you could definitely go onto the KPhil site to see it, to get onto their page, which has the link for it. Okay. Still hearing me loud and clear?
Yes, please.
Great.
Yeah.
And just as the Accounting Student Association, they would have in conjunction with ACCA, they have a great relationship, and they would have had just in February a sensitization session and panel discussion with the ACCA. So our Accounting Student Association is very strong here within the faculty. There are other student associations, academic student associations and clubs, and we are inviting you, involved, be engaged, and we are really proud. I'm going to give you one more. We are really proud of our Young Economists Association. They, as judged by the Guild of Students for this academic year, so they won the Academic Club of the Year this year. So really proud of them. Again, really vibrant club here within the faculty. They're not the only two. I know the Psychology Student Association, and they work in conjunction with psychology colleagues in Faculty of Humanities and Education, as well as the social work students have their own societies as well. We want you to get involved once you're on campus. Find something that you're passionate about. An engaged student is a more successful student. And I am really hoping my bandwidth holds up, because I want you to meet Naomi Campbell. I am really hoping, let me stop the share for just a moment. Yes, I just wanted to make sure I was optimized for sound. Okay. Are you hearing clearly? No breaking up?
So far it isn't, but let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Hi, Naomi. Hi. How are you doing? I'm good. How are you? I'm very good. First thing we're going to touch on is really your educational journey. So for me, It's 2024 and I've been in school since about 2006. So that's about 18 whole years of straight school. Yeah. And one can take away a lot from all the experiences through those years, whether positive or negative. So my first question would be, what's something positive that you've taken away from any experiences during your educational journey? If I was focusing primarily on secondary school, probably my biggest experience, I think, was when I started my advocacy journey in the final year of secondary school, when I, along with my friends, got together and raised some money for the relief fund for Bahamas and the Hurricane Dorian. I think that's what really jump-started me into everything, because I realized the impact that can have. When it comes to university, I think there's so much to choose from, but I think the biggest thing for me would be the connections that I made here, and just the friends that I've made, and also the connections and things I've learned from professors and lecturers beyond just, the course material, but just learning life experiences and learning from other people has been the most fulfilling experience.
So that was done by our student society here in the FSSA, Faculty of Social Science Student Association, and they launched a series, and if you go onto their Instagram, that's their Instagram handle, you'll see a series of different of those videos. And I want you to meet Naomi, because she is a great example of what we encourage students to do. You maintain your level of academic study and engagement, but it's more than just going to classes and getting great grades. It is becoming passionate about any area that you want to make an impact on, and not having to sacrifice that interest while you are continuing your studies. You're at the stage now where you need to find a way to combine the two, and you get accolades for both of them, or you can achieve great satisfaction from pursuing all of your passions. Of course, you have to be disciplined. There are going to be times when you need to give way one to the other, but you met Naomi, and Naomi graduated, and let's see the end, not the end, the continuation of Naomi's story. So Naomi graduated in our 2023-24 cohort, and she was the recipient of one of the faculty prizes, the C. Justin Robinson Prize. Is one of the Professor Robinson was the dean prior to the current dean in the faculty. We have a big ceremony in October, just before graduation, and we recognize the students who have performed well within the faculty. And the names of the stalwarts, the legacy builders, those who came before us, students are awarded prizes in their name. And that's what I meant at the beginning, where we celebrate excellence and we recognize our impact, and we celebrate the legacy that has been laid by the pioneers in the different disciplines. And that is a fantastic, again, ceremony that we do in October. And Naomi was the recipient of the prize last October, last October. And it is awarded to the student who achieved not only academic excellence, but has given outstanding service. So let's hear more about Naomi's journey.
Naomi Cambridge is a 22-year-old Barbadian digital creator and climate advocate passionate about using media to amplify social change. A recent graduate and valedictorian of her class with first-class honors in international relations from the University of the West Indies, she has been a key figure in youth climate advocacy and global sustainability efforts. She is the founder and host of the Notes and Quotes podcast, where she leads discussions on themes such as sustainability, mental health, equality, and personal growth in your 20s. Each episode guided by a thought-provoking quote. Naomi's work spans international climate activism, having represented the Caribbean region at COP28 and other global forums where she championed climate resilience, social justice, and the urgent needs of vulnerable communities. Additionally, Naomi made history at the Harvard Model United Nations, representing the University of the West Indies, alongside her double delegate, Zianka Springer, securing the Cave Hill campus's first ever award at this prestigious event. Moving forward, Naomi aspires to continue her work in digital media, combining her passion for creativity and global justice to build a community which inspires and empowers others.
So, prospects and students and those coming into the Faculty of Social Sciences family, we want you to have a holistic experience, not only being strong in your academic study, but also being engaged with your community, both the internal community, your internal community with your courses, with the clubs and societies that are available to you, with the other events that are happening on campus. And as we move into the first semester of 2025, 2026, the faculty itself will be having more celebratory type activities. We have a conference coming off in November, and there'll be other activities because you will be the ones coming in to the year that we are still in full celebration mode. But I did not, like I said, our websites, and if you have the links to our websites, that information is there for you to digest. I wanted to share with you tonight some of the other side of the faculty that you're coming into, and we are delighted that you're choosing us to walk alongside as you come through this maturing and your academic journey, and we are really excited to walk that path with you and being able to cheer you on in 3 to 4 to 5 years where you walk that stage. For those coming in for postgrad study who may have not been with us before, you may be walking that stage in as little as 2 years. For some, it might be 3, for some, it might be 4. Again, we're delighted that you chose us to partner with you in this stage of your academic journey. There will be many more opportunities for you to engage with us. Really important, as I said before, for those at the undergrad level, that English language proficiency test and understanding about the MPT. For those at the graduate level, depending on the program that you've applied for or have been accepted into, you're going to be getting correspondence about getting to know you sessions, some orientation sessions that you should not miss for your programming, because a lot of information gets exchanged there, as well as the opportunity. Some of those are for those of you who are going to be face-to-face. Some of those opportunities are going to be face-to-face as well for the postgrad students. And for all of you, orientation happens in August. It is a critical part of your success to make sure that you go through orientation. It is not yet mandatory, but it is incentivized, and it is really important, even though it is not mandatory, meaning that if you don't do it, you will still be able to register for classes. Don't let that be a deterrent that should not be the only motivating factor. Make sure you go through orientation so that you understand the environment in which you're coming into. That's why we spent so much time building the orientation platform, both the online orientation, and then of course you get to meet us face-to-face later on in August. Even if you, especially for those who are postgrad, even if you have been with us before, don't assume that the campus has not changed and evolved. So it's really important that you go through the orientation module that is built specifically for the postgrad students. It's different than what happens at the undergrad level. So if you're here and you have applied or thinking of applying, we do pay as much attention to you, the postgrads, and recognizing that you're postgrad students. So something as simple as having a separate set of headquarters. So those of you who are familiar with the campus, the classrooms that you're going to be interacting with and so on is not on the main campus. It's down at our postgraduate site by the Lazaretto. Undergrad students are not allowed in that building. They do check IDs. So undergrad students are not allowed in that building. We recognize the need for you to have your own space, and that has been so for over a decade. And therefore, don't ignore the outreach that we do for postgrad students thinking, oh, I know this all, because it's a different environment that you're coming into, and recognizing that we provide support specifically for you, the postgrad students. So for those who have to leave now, because thank you again, I'm sorry for the slight delay, but those of you who had just taken specific time out and therefore need to hop off the call, thank you again. I'm going to attempt to put on my video and hope that the logo right behind off the call. Again, there'll be other opportunities to engage with us and and the faculty, as well as other units here on campus, and we're looking forward to that continuing conversation. For those of you who need to remain to have their questions answered, please do so. Again, thank you for taking time out to talk about all things SoSci. And our hashtag is We Bleed Orange. That's one of our hashtags for the year. The faculty, I'm not in my orange shirt tonight, but the faculty color is orange. So you'll see a lot of us in orange as the new semester begins. So Angelica, going back to questions now. Thank you for your patience. And I'm going to turn off the camera just in case.
Hi, good night. Can you hear me? Hi, good night. Okay.
Bandwidth goes again. Go ahead, Angelica, I can hear you.
Hi. So I did English and Communication at BCC in 2020 and I got a B+. Do I still need to do the English test?
If you take a look at the exemptions for the link, they would give you the exemptions that are for those. But I think once you have a B+ or up in the core communications course, you are eligible, you are exempted from the ELPT.
Okay, great.
But
Thank
those
you.
are out there. But again, take a look at the link because it would give you all of the exemption qualifications.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Adriana?
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Good night. I have registered as a mature student. So what I am trying, as I was one of the student, I am not sure, sometimes the process and the procedure. But what I think, I know I would have sent an application, and as I said, I did not. I have not received anything, and the English proficiency test completely slipped my mind. So
fortunately, there's another one in August.
In August, you have is a specific date in August, or just when August comes, you
Do
go
you
look for it.
get communication rules or Althea? Do we know the date in August is yet?
The website is currently displaying Thursday, August 7th, 2025 is the next date for the ELPT test.
Right. So Angelica, really, or Adriana, sorry, really important that you go onto the website because the website, the owners of the information will be updating the site. So make sure that you go to the site to get that information. The link is already in the chat.
Okay, so once I register, then I do say I will get some kind of practice thing so I can know in terms of what the test is about.
I am not sure about the ELPT, definitely for the math proficiency test, but again, the website will give you the information about the English language proficiency test.
No problem. After I got this information, knowing that is that a guarantee being entered, or we still have to wait for our information to see if you'll be accepted?
You need to wait for the information about your acceptance.
Okay, because I would have applied first because as I'm hearing you were there, I would apply first for accounting and finance, but then you would have sent back and saying that I was not successful in that area, so I would have been in for business management. I think it's double or something special.
The management studies double. So you have been accepted. You've been given an offer.
Yes, I've been given an offer. You have been offered the management studies, right? Double.
Congratulations. That's my department. So congratulations.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So then you've been accepted. So yes, definitely take that test in August, but keep update with the website to make sure that you have done everything that you need to do. And welcome.
Thank you. Yes. I think that's what you know. Yes.
Yes, you
I will
should
put
be.
that in my calendar.
The one thing
I will put that in my calendar. I think we'll have to prepare my son for.
Please do. And
yes,
the one thing I want to remind or reassure everyone here, the UWI has been accredited as one of the top universities, not only in the region, we are the top English-speaking university in the region, but in the world, top 5%. So getting access to us is no mean feat, and all of you who have received an offer from us should feel very proud of the fact that you are able to access this level of education for the Barbadian students right here at home, for the regional students right here in the region, and from those that are further afield, we are welcoming you to our shores and welcoming you to the family. So never let anybody take that away from you. Congratulations, and we are looking forward to having you join the family literally in August.
Yes, please. Thank you. So I will put that on my calendar as my son is marking it now for me. This is a sweet time. I
So
so
that is
literally
great. So I am
preparing him for
excited to-
common April. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry.
That is quite fine. So we're excited for him. So congratulations to him as well. And
Thank
we'll
you.
be
Yes,
seeing
please.
him in about 8, 9 years.
Yes, please. I'll just tell him make sure you get that grade 1 in CXC for mathematics and English. I tell you so.
Yep. And if he doesn't, we have the supports here for him.
Yes, please. So
One
thank
of
you.
our-
So I will make sure to for the proficiency test English, because there's a need that because I would have had a grade 1 in mathematics, but I would have had it on personal grade 2. So I would need to, yes. So I will do that in August when it comes up, and I just but wait for any more information coming from you.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
You are most welcome, Adriana. Dante?
Yes, good night. I have 3 questions. I think,
Sure.
yes, 3 questions.
I'm inhaling that. Okay, go ahead.
For the maths proficiency test, who exactly are required to take that test?
If you take a look at the link, you will see who's exempted from the test and therefore who is required to take the test. There's a whole series of those who are exempted from it. If you don't meet one of the exemption requirements, then you need to take the test.
Okay, I was just wondering because that I follow the link and it's saying Department of Economics.
And there should be a whole slew, there'll be a page because the Department of Economics is responsible for administering the test. So that's why you were routed to the Department of Economics. They're in charge of the test.
Okay, okay.
And thank you, Althea. One of the CIRU team has put the link back in the chat for you. So make it easy to access.
Right, okay, thank you. What else? Right, for the English proficiency test, I went to register for it now, and I went to the link and it's saying that the form is currently not available. Let me see if we do it again. Yeah, the form is currently not accepting responses.
That may be because they just had one, so look out for it, because if they're doing it again in August, there should be communication about when the form is available again for registration.
The registration period, Mrs. Mahan, is actually on the website. If you scroll down,
great.
it indicates the registration period for the August test is Monday, July 14th to Friday, August 8th for the English language proficiency test. Similarly, the registration period for the math, that information is also available on the page provided.
Thank you so much, Althea. So information there, follow the link.
Yes, thank you. And lastly, I wanted to know when it comes to transferring, how does that process go? Not for the BBA, but the pilot licensing. I mean, just in general.
There is let's use the language so that I'm clear as to what you're asking. You're talking about changing your program to another program within the faculty, or changing the program to something outside of the faculty?
Within the faculty.
So that's what we call a change of option, because it's a different procedure. So in the late January, early February, let me take a step back. The Faculty of Social Sciences website has a wealth of information for you. On the main page, if I can bring it up here, on the main page, there is, I'm going to share my screen. So what you're seeing is the Faculty of Social Sciences page. This should be bookmarked in your favorites. This is something that you will be accessing quite often. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, you'll see allow you to request.
Ma'am, you're cutting in and out. I can't really hear you properly.
Okay, so did you see that movement?
You scroll down. Where did you go into student resources? Yes, please. I'm following.
Right. So I'm going to put the homepage in the chat. And all of our students, we're going to say it again at registration. This is a site that you should book. And the student resources section is where you would find most links to request services, including the change of option. That is opened at the end of January, early February.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, you have a good night.
Good night. Trisha?
Hi, good night. I only have 2 questions, and it was about the same thing that he asked about switching the courses. I wanted to know if there was a specific time that you had to do that.
So you can't do it on entry. If you once you have begun your courses or take your registration, usually it is after you've done enough courses that we can see what you're doing. But level 1, you can do it as early as level 1, and you go through that same link that change your option.
Okay, and is the banking and finance course still available? Because it's not coming up on the
Yes.
site.
It should be banking and finance, unless I am unaware that we've pulled it. But as far as I know, that should be available for you.
It coming up as an error link. So I had wanted to see what was the difference between the banking and the accounting and finance.
What you can do is take a look at our faculty handbook. So the same link that I showed just now.
Okay.
Is that in the chat? You can look in the faculty handbook so you can see the structure of all the programs within the faculty. That shows you every course that you have to do for every option at the undergraduate level that we offer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Miles?
Yeah, so I have 2 questions. My first question is, I'm supposed to finish over summer, so I believe when I get acceptance, well, supposedly July, there would be like a conditional acceptance, right?
Possibly, yes.
Okay,
And maybe not to the program that you may have first applied to. There's some programs within the faculty that you have to be fully matric for. So if you're awaiting results, we might be awaiting your results to upgrade your offer.
okay. Okay then. And the second is I'm applying for the banking and finance online. Well, it's hybrid, so it's offered online as well. Is it offered through like the same platform as the Global Campus?
No. You're talking about postgrad, Miles?
Yes, postgrad.
Right. So it is not on the Global Campus website. It will be through our application portal. So once you go onto our application portal for the postgrad, the program will be there.
Okay then, sure.
Great. Welcome. Deborah? You're muted if you're speaking, Deborah. Okay, while we wait for Deborah, Juliana?
Hi, okay. I have applied for the social work degree. I've applied since January. I've keep checking. I haven't received any. I've got the emails about the English test and the masters. I pursue both of them. I told you what happened with the English. Do you have a ballpark as to when I may hear something?
I don't, but the process for social work is a specialized process. And right, so you would have submitted your essay.
Yes, I did.
As well. The department then will be reviewing that essay, and there will be interviews scheduled for those candidates that are prospects for the program.
This is face-to-face interviews?
That's an excellent question. I don't know if they offer a Zoom or virtual opportunity, but that's something that we certainly can ask.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
because yours is a specialized process, normally they do it in batches
Okay.
in order to accommodate the interviews and so on. Make sure that the relevant lecturers are available for those interviews.
Okay.
So you should be hearing from them soon. We are already in April, so hopefully you should be hearing from them before the end of May.
Okay, then thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now,
Yes,
Deborah.
please.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I was trying to unmute. I couldn't get it on mute. My question is about the math efficiency test. So I did a associate degree at the community college, and I was told that as long as I passed statistics, that I was not required to take this math proficiency test. However, I was not properly informed. So I just wanted to know if that was the right information.
What I can tell you to do is the link is now been put in the chat, and our link, this link shows all of the qualifications for exemptions for the math proficiency test. So it's best that you, rather than me saying it, go on to the link that is provided for you, because it gives the whole list from which you can get exempted from the math proficiency test.
Thank you.
Okay. Julicia?
Hi. Just for some clarification, right? The supporting documents that we got with the offer letter that we had to send back, right? One of the forms, like a medical form, you would have to go to the doctor and fill out and get whatever vaccines and whatever, right? Are we required to send them back, whether via courier, or can we bring them when we're coming in August? Because they required 2 passport size pictures as well for the ID, and so I'm wondering if I would have to, bring them, or if I would have to send them via FedEx or something.
Okay, asking one of my CERU team, Althea?
Yes, ma'am. The university's preference is that for our regional and international students, those documents come before, particularly in the case of the student visa form, that must be here before you arrive on the island. So it is important that you return. If you're returning those documents, you can return all other acceptance documents. So that is a requirement for the student visa. So sending by courier would be good. If that is not feasible, and I believe our Caribbean mail system is good, it can be sent by regular mail, but those visa forms must be here before you arrive on the island.
Should they send those as registered mail, Althea?
Yes, please.
Yes, not just drop them in the mailbox.
No, courier registered is fine. So that way you have a way to track, but we do know sometimes the cost may be a challenge.
Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Shonda, I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Yeah, perfectly. One of the first people to actually do so. I did the MU, but I wanted to know the difference between the sociology special and the other courses. The other courses, I guess, that I would call regular. I don't
Okay,
know.
so when you see different options within our programming, it really talks about the number of courses within the discipline. So a minor, for example, excluding level 1, when I'm speaking about this, I'm talking about the specialized courses at levels 2 and 3. So level 1, that's your foundation course. That's your foundation year. And it will have a range of courses, usually 10 courses at level 1. Once you are finished level 1, or you move on beyond that level, you then have 20 courses at levels 2 and 3. Those 20 courses are what will, depending on what you're doing in those 20 courses, that will determine what you are graduating with. So it can't be 20 random courses. If you are doing sociology as an example, A sociology minor, if a student wants to do a minor in sociology, they would complete 5 courses in sociology at the level 2-3 level. There will be specified courses that make up the minor. If you're doing a major, it will be 10 courses. If you're doing a special, it's 15 of those 20 courses. So at levels 2 and 3, you have 20 courses. For a special, 15 of those courses will be for the discipline of sociology. It means that you are really going to be immersed in sociology versus a sociology major, which would have 10 courses at levels 2 and 3.
Okay,
Is
thank
that
you.
so? What you can do, and everybody here, this is homework I'm giving you. Again, you can go onto the faculty website and download, if you're undergrad, download last year's faculty handbook. That handbook is your Bible for the faculty. It shows at the undergraduate level, it gives you all the rules and regulations, but equally as important, it gives you the structure of every option at the undergraduate level, what all the courses are that you're going to need to complete in order to be recognized as having the degree. We expect you to slavishly follow that structure. When we determine your eligibility for graduation, that is how we determine it. Not that you have done, students get caught up in, I've done credits. Credits are a natural characteristic of taking a course. That's just one of the characteristics of a course. So, most of our programs, you have 90 credits to complete. Having 90 credits does not guarantee that you're eligible for graduation, because we don't look at the credits, we look at the courses that you have completed. And how do we know which courses you need to do? The same way that you know which courses you need to do. And that is in the faculty handbook. I'm speaking to the undergraduate students. For the graduate students, you do have a graduate handbook, but each of your programs have a brochure or structure that the coordinator will give you at the beginning of your session as well. So just to recap, Ciandra, I'm sorry, I've gone into my lecture voice. A special, major, or minor determines how many courses you need to complete to be recognized as having that option. So sociology special just means that when you look through, you're going to see 15 courses coded for SOCI. SOCI usually is their course code. Yeah, Cody-Ann?
Good night. You hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
So I'm Jamaican. However, I have to take the mathematics exam, and I have decided to take the one that's scheduled in August. But I was wondering if the halls would be ready by then, or I would have to come for the exam and then leave and come back again to go now.
I am not sure, depending on the timing, when the halls are ready. Althea or Rose, do you know when the halls are ready for students to enter?
Normally, the hall move-in date is just a few days before the semester begins. So it's usually that same Thursday, 21st, is likely to be it once the academic dates have been confirmed. But if a student makes arrangements to come before, they will need to correspond directly with the halls or residents to see what arrangements can be made to accommodate them earlier. But they normally provide a hall's move-in date, and it's usually at that time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Taja? Or Taja? Is it Taja or Taja?
Taja.
Taja?
Yes, please. Okay, so I have 3 questions, and they're about the psychology course that you're offering. So I can't remember where I heard this, but I heard that you are supposed to be like 18 or older for it to apply for it. Is that true?
I'll say I have to double check. That may be true for that and social work, but I don't have that information off the top of my head. Althea Rose, or who's here from admissions? Do we know?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I didn't hear it.
Is there an age limit? Is there a minimum age for BSc psychology?
No, there are only two there are only two programs to my knowledge that provide a age stipulation, and that is within, med sci, and for social sciences, it's the social work. But
Right.
we can double check that. She can send an email to us, and we will make sure that she gets an answer she can send it to recruitment@kfl.ue.edu. But those are the only two programs I am aware of that has a age requirement.
Right. So social, I'm not familiar with this one for psychology, but we will double check that for you.
Okay. Now, my second question is, what are the requirements for the course?
So BSc Psychology is quite similar to the other offerings within the faculty. Do you have CAPE, or do you have an associate degree, or you are coming in as CSAC?
Well, I will be coming at Kate because I'll be staying at my school for sixth form and coming after I finish sixth form.
Right. So it's 2 units of CAPE, two units of CAPE once you have the 5 CSACs that are required, and any 2 units of CAPE. You don't have to do any specialization for psychology.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Shakila?
Hi, I have one more question. If you
Sure.
have been admitted as a full-time student and you wanted to change, would this be done during registration?
When you say you want to change, you mean how you register?
No, in terms of being a part-time student. If you want to do part-time.
Oh, you're a Barbadian student?
Yes, please.
I would advise that you, and I can be corrected here, by the team, because of the sponsorship by the Barbadian government, Barbadian students are required to do the give back hours. There is a different, even though it's under revision at the moment, given what is currently on the table, there's a different requirement for students registered full-time versus students registered part-time. Once you are entered from the faculty or the academic end, we determine what type of student you are based on the number of courses for which you're registering. So if you're registering for 2 or 3 courses in the semester, that's a part-time registration. Those given a 4-year offer, that's the maximum you can register for in any semester. If you have a part-time offer, is 3 courses until you finish your level 1. If you are however, you have been given a full-time offer, which would typically mean that you register for 4 or 5 courses, and you prefer to register for 2 or 3 courses, 5 over the academic year, so you can do 2 in semester 1 and 3 in semester 2. Because of the sponsorship by the Barbados government, I would advise that you write student admissions to let them know you're going to be registering as a part-time student and not a full-time student, so that the requirement for the give back hours would reflect how you were registered.
Okay, I would have sent my email already, so I was just waiting on a response, hence why I asked the question. So thank
So
you.
you don't have to do anything else. And when you register then, you'll be registering as a full-time student. You can choose to register either full-time or part-time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Jacola?
Hi, good night. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, so I have a question.
Good night,
How
Kate.
and when do I register? Pardon?
No, go ahead.
How and when do I register for Introduction to Maths for Social Sciences, as well as the compulsory Level 1 Foundation Language courses?
That's when you come in after orientation, after academic advising, you are then able to register as an incoming student. You will not be able to register until that point. So there's a
Okay,
long
thank you very
steps
much.
between now and then. So orientation to the campus, to the UE, to the K-Field campus, which will be happening in August. And then you come in later August. That's usually complete by mid-August. And then you come into the campus for the campus orientation. And then you are moved over. It's almost like a relay. You are the baton that are moved then from the campus orientation, and they send you and they hand the baton over to the faculties where you become ours. And then there's a whole other set of procedures, but you are a couple of months away from that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Shakila, you have another question?
Yes, please, just one more. In relation to the registration material being forwarded to you and stuff and fees, this would be done during registration time, right? I just wanted to confirm.
When you say registration material, what do you mean?
Because in the acceptance form, it said once you have submitted the acceptance or whatever the case may be, that registration material would be forwarded to you.
I am assuming that part of that will be the scheduling for that same area, or as an incoming student, as a new student, the orientation schedule and other materials that you will need to be aware of, as well as the financial obligation side. So that's where the registration fees and so on, which have to be paid before you can register when registration opens for you, that week probably of the 24th of August.
Okay, thank you.
You are most welcome. Adriana?
Hi, good night again.
Good night.
For the course that I have taken, it says duration 3 years full time, 4 to 6 years part time. And 4 to 6 years part time, I kind of hearing the questions and answers going back and forth. So, I don't know. I think I registered as a part time student though.
That's fine. So when you get your offer, if your offer says 4 years, what that means I'm going to tell you what it means literally, and then how it actually happens on the ground. If you are coming into the faculty and you are not fully matric, which means you don't have the 2 units of CAPE, and you don't have or you don't have the associate degree at the GPA that we are looking for, which is a 2.5, you're going to be given not a full-time offer, which is a 3-year offer. You're going to be given what is called a part-time offer. It's a bit of a misnomer, because what it means is that we split the level 1. Remember, I talked about 3 levels in the program at the undergrad. Level 1, 2, and 3. Level 1, we give you the opportunity to become what we call an independent learner. This is the journey that those who went through CAPE and went through the associate degree, they have already acquired these softer skills that we are looking for. So they come straight in and we sort of throw them off the end of the pier. They're ready for that. For those who are coming in without that background, we split level 1 into 2 academic years. So we give you up to 4 semesters to finish the courses required at level 1. So what that means is that you can, especially if you've not been studying for a while, or you have not been in the formal, you've been doing some courses, but not formal academic courses that are really heavy, we would advise you treat it like a marathon. You start with 2 courses in your first semester, and then you do 3 courses in the second semester. That's half of the 10 that are required at level 1. So that's semester 1, September to December 2025. Semester 2 is going to be January to April, May 2026. By the end of semester 2, you already have half your courses. If you take 3 courses in the upcoming semester 1, so this is August 2026 to December 2026, by the end of December, you are now a level 2 student. Because you would have done 2 and 3 is 5 in 2025-26. And then at the end of our years are not calendar years. So we start in September and we go all the way to May. So that's when we talk about academic years, that's what we're talking about. Our schedule is off of what the doesn't align with the calendar year. So by the time you are in December of 2026, you are now, once you have passed all of your courses, a level 2 student. To us, by January 2027, you are a level 2 student.
Okay.
It means that you can choose to register. The restriction is off. Once you're a level 2 student, you can choose to register full-time at that point if you desire.
Okay.
Or, and you will hear this at orientation again, if you are balancing a full load outside of the university, you have a family, you have work, you have other commitments, that we recommend strongly that you do not attempt to carry a full-time load.
Yes, please. And I understand that. So I
So
I am
notice
already carrying
you're
that.
only one semester behind where your colleagues were. So students who are full-time, they will take 5 courses in semester 1, 5 courses in semester 2. So they get into level 2 by the September of 2026. Notice
Okay.
you are in level 2 by January of 2027. So it's really only a semester difference.
Yes.
And students use the summer period. If a course is available, they use the summer period to either recover because they didn't pass a course or to get ahead. And yes, that helps tremendously. So when
Yes,
they
please.
say 4 to 6 years, so your offer is going to be 4 years. That assumes that you took 2 years, 2 academic years, 2025, 26, and 2026, 27 for level 1. And then you're going to come in full time. That's the minimum that we would expect you to finish.
Yes,
But
please.
thanks for your patience. I am on again. Joining on my phone this time, so hopefully the platform will allow me to stay on with you. Althea, I think that was the last question though. I was just explaining about the full-time and part-time, and therefore it's better to be slow and steady than trying to race through and lower your grades. So if you know that you're balancing a lot of other activities that need your attention, going through part-time is probably the best way to go through the program. Are you hearing me, Althea? Is everyone hearing me?
Yes,
We're
we
hearing you. I'm hearing you. Yes, please.
Okay.
And understood.
And
I understand you.
great. And I don't see any other hands raised at the moment. So, oh yes, Trishan?
Hi, yeah, sorry, it's just a quick question. The handbook that you were telling me about, I am not able to access it.
Why?
I am not sure.
It's available to the public. So are you in the right link? It's a PDF document.
Is it possible that you could put the link in the chat or email it or something?
I can put the link in the chat. Yes. .cave. So it's www.cavehill.ue.edu. I'm putting it in the chat as I speak. edu/FSS for the Faculty of Social Sciences /student resources -resources.
Okay, I see it now. Thank you.
You're welcome. And just a disclaimer, that handbook is produced every year. So you're going to be looking at the handbook for your year of entry to your program. So while you're using this as just a guideline, don't try to self-advise. Make sure you come to the orientation sessions, make sure you come to the advising session. And even though you may have friends, colleagues, family members that went through the UE a little while ago, there's something new under the sun every year. So make sure that you personalize this experience to you, and you speak with an academic advisor. You go through the orientation, meet the team here. It's a full team here at UE that we are, partnering with you through this journey. and then you're passed on, like I said, in a baton to the academic team, you make sure that you speak with us about your program or programming. Okay, Tyrone?
Yes, please. Just a quick question. I know you spoke earlier to the transfer after the first year, and you all allow, I think, as late as you said, as the third year. In the instance, because I applied for the accounting and finance, but it was unsuccessful, so they offered me a management space. If I wanted to transfer one to the accounting and finance after the first year, say again it was unsuccessful.
Tyrone, do you mind using the word change rather than transfer? Because in our environment, transfer means something very different.
Okay, right. So if I want to change, my my
Option.
major, my option to accounting and finance, and it was unsuccessful. Let me say I wanted, because again it was offered the management, but if I wanted to do a concentration with the management, that would be considered a change as well, or if I want
Well,
to add another
if
major.
you're already if you're already doing management, it wouldn't, right. If you've already in management, you wouldn't be doing a concentration in management. The concentration is usually a subspecialty. So for example, management finance. Management finance is finance would be a concentration, management HRM, where HRM, human resource management would be a concentration. So if you're already in management, you wouldn't do a concentration in management. But again, when you come to the advising session, lots of these queries will be, lots of this will be clarified during that session, which is why it's really important in August when we advertise these advising sessions that you do come to them, because they will be program specific.
Okay, all right, thanks. And one quick question before you go. When is the deadline for the actual paying of the fees and registering for the course and stuff like that? I'm not sure if I missed it earlier.
Registration is likely to be the week of August 24th. So you should be, if you want to pay now, that's great. But you should be planning your finances as a Barbadian student. Well, whether you're a Barbadian student or not, you should be planning your finances so that you can make the payments by the last week of August.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Or the second to last week of August, rather. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the, Faith, your hand went up.
Yes, sorry. I have a quick question concerning the visa. I am still awaiting acceptance, and I just have a concern about the student visa. Can you tell me like some of the documents and stuff that I need to apply for? Because I have not applied for the visa since I have not gotten acceptance. So like some of the documents and stuff that would be needed.
I don't have that information to hand. I don't know if the team is still here, but Faith, can you put that, can you send that query in the email for me? Seru, S-E-R-U, @kfhill.uwi.edu.
Okay, not a problem.
So that we can answer that specific question. I don't want to give you a part answer.
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome. And prospects, incoming students, ladies and gentlemen, both at the postgrad and undergrad session level, thank you so much for spending so much of your time with us here in this information session. I am guaranteeing that there will be other sessions that you're interacting with us here in the faculty. The dates, remember to check your email for important dates for the undergrads, the ELPT, the MPT that you may be required to do so that you don't miss those opportunities, and other information that is coming from the partners here on campus, whether that be student admissions, our marketing and communications team, the team and Office of Student Services and Development, or the CIRU team. That those are the first persons that you're going to be interacting with bursary as well before the end of August. So you need to make sure that you have completed, or you're going to, once the invitation comes for you to do the online orientation, that you take the time and go through the online orientation, which will answer so many of the questions that you do have as you familiarize yourself with the campus and what we have to offer. And then you have the face-to-face orientation. That's always a great day with new students coming in on the campus. And those of you are doing postgrad, there's a separate session for you as well. And then, of course, you get to meet us on the faculty end for the faculty orientation. When that baton is handed over, you're handed over from the campus to your individual faculties. So lots of exciting things happening for you between July and August. And again, keep looking out for communication from us. The CIRO team has asked if you had any questions that have not been answered during the session, please make sure to email them. Like I said, they're our customer service arm and they intercede with you or on your behalf of the various units to get those answers to the questions that you may have. But again, welcoming you here to the family here in SOSAI. We are known as SOSAI here on the campus. We bleed orange and we are dedicated to your future. Congratulations if you've already made the jump, made the leap and got your acceptance offer and you become part of the family. Those of you who are waiting, hopefully you'll be hearing from us soon, our admissions team soon, and we are looking forward to welcoming you for the new academic year. Have a great night, everybody.